Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 489.
489.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. Today we're talking about Halloween at Disneyland Paris, which we just spent 3 weeks there. But there's a lot more to come for not only Disneyland Paris, but other parks in the coming months, including especially Christmas, across all of the Disney parks and the Disney Cruise Line. And the Disneyland Hotel at Disneyland Paris will be opening on January 25th, which to me is a very exciting time.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about that time. We're still working on some plans right now.
Yes.
So good time to call MEI and Mouse Fan Travel.
Yes. And also that could be around our number 500 show.
That's true. Let's plan it that way.
That's how we're going to plan it.
So you mentioned Halloween at Disneyland Paris, and here we are. It is the 1st of October, the start of Halloween season. You can see there's some work being done at the train station, but they still have the Halloween decorations up.
And I think that's all for pavement and such. I mean, we've got the Disneyland Hotel coming up, so a lot of work's being done. So here we have Mickey and Minnie, and they're in new costumes. I was glad to see Minnie is not in a witch costume because
yes, she's breaking out this year.
Everybody puts Minnie in so many witch costumes. But they are in more of a fall harvest type costumes, which is something that Disneyland Paris is very big on. Not just Halloween, but really the overall fall and harvest, theme.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit. Perfect for, just the theme of the parade is also autumn and fall.
Right.
Which makes it very unique for a Halloween parade.
And it would be nice if we had that also. You could kind of throw in Thanksgiving and such. But you can see, they each have the orange and the purple. So I just want to mention the Halloween Festival, which is their Halloween season, runs through November 5th. And then they're going to go almost right into Christmas. So one of these days I want to be there during that time.
That would be very nice.
Yes, but for both,
right.
To get there at the end of one and enjoy the next.
So you mentioned new costumes. Also a new costume this year is Tigger.
It is a very unusual costume, I think. I'm not really sure what he's supposed to be. It has, to me, kind of a Matterhorn Christmassy look, but...
Well, he made it himself. It's obvious that Tigger, is being creative this year with this outfit.
I'm not sure what's on his scarf. I'm not sure. I think it's sort of like a pumpkin or a gourd on his hat, but it's a costume.
It is a costume. It is absolutely a costume.
But to me, it looks more Christmassy. And I'm not the only one who said that. Like when I posted it, people are like, oh, that looks very Christmas, like a Christmas outfit.
You know what? That is a true statement.
Yes.
I would agree with that. So now we're going to move on and look at some of the decorations. On the 1st of October, the gazebo hadn't been decorated because it was just taken down overnight from the 30th anniversary celebration. But on the 3rd of October, which is what we're looking at now, full decorations, even some bonus decorations.
And Disneyland Paris does not do Halloween decorations halfway.
No.
Whether it's here or Frontierland. Although they did a little less in Frontierland this year. Like you didn't have the big... Right, I like that arch. So this gazebo, it was so nice to see the Halloween decorations back on here with the band and such.
And you could just see, previously, you could still see the 30th anniversary lighting inside the gazebo still going on.
And I totally missed that. But last year, and we just saw those pumpkins with the ghosts in Town Square. Those were new last year during the 30th. And they light up at night. So it's just a great atmosphere for Halloween.
Now, this segment here we did on really our first day. This was probably about the 20th of September. So they had Stitch in his Halloween outfit starting very early once again this year. This is a very, very popular meet and greet. The lines can go, 2 hours plus depending on the day.
And it was kind of unusual because October 1st is really when Halloween started, and they did almost nothing else before that.
Yeah, this was really the only early thing with Stitch.
Like in the past, they've had Maleficent, Evil Queen, even just for, early meet and greets, but they didn't do that this year.
Gaston last year was early, I remember.
This location will, not be here probably next year.
Well, it'll still be here, but it'll be covered.
Well, they're going to have a gazebo.
Right.
So I'm not sure exactly where if the gazebo is going to be in this exact spot, but that's where, for purposes of probably rain and such, it'll be a little nicer area.
Yeah, I did see that concept art, and at least the stairway behind, you could see that little stairway behind Stitch, that still was there in the art. So maybe it's just going above this particular area.
I didn't know if the stairway, and we were just looking at Stitch doing his
and
thing while we're
Stitch,
there.
We're going to see plenty of Stitch, not to worry.
I didn't notice this if the stairway was there or just that kind of backdrop. So we'll see what happens because they're going to cover Casey's outdoor seating for weather purposes as well.
So as we're looking at Stitch, I want to give some suggestions because I did mention he's very, very popular. If you want to meet him, I would recommend, if you have access to extra magic hours,
get there early.
Get there early. Be
and
there
run.
for road.
Don't run.
Do not
don't
run.
run.
Do not run.
Don't really
Walk
run.
at a brisk pace
and
go straight to
there.
Stitch, and that would be your absolute best bet. Otherwise, just bring your patience because it does get to be a good long line.
And we did that, and it was about a half hour or so, maybe, or 45 minutes still.
From rope drop, I was like the fourth person in.
That's hard to believe that it was that long.
Yeah. So anyway, now we are looking at the castle. This is the Villains. What is it called?
It's the Villains Courtyard.
The Villains Courtyard. And here we have Maleficent. I kept wanting to say Villains Grove, but
Villains
that
Courtyard.
was the last event.
And I'm not really as big a fan of the Villains Courtyard because, like, Maleficent and Evil Queen used to be meet and greets for everybody, and now they are up here, out of range.
They are not fully out of range, which we're going to show you.
If they're getting on the elevator.
Yes, or when they exit and enter, you have brief encounters with these characters.
But very brief. I think most guests prefer a
traditional meet and greet like in previous
because
years.
it looks like she's really close. She's not that close.
That's the wonder of zoom lenses.
Yes, they're all the way up in the air.
But look at how close she is to me here, right there, as she's going away to take her break.
She doesn't say anything here, but when Roni saw her today, she actually was talking to the crowd and everything, really interacting, which I thought was very nice.
Well, I have the Evil Queen is talking right here. She was interacting with me and other guests. But this was kind of fun. This is before I had seen many other people have been posting video clips of the villains taking the elevator, but I had not seen any of that. This was early in the whole Villains Courtyard, so I was just following her to see where she was going, and she ends up taking the elevator. It was quite funny. Right. I enjoyed that.
Well, I mean, it's been a big deal now that they're going into the elevator, and they have the yellow. They're going to probably put that there right now, right?
And I saw Roni, when he did this today, there was no yellow thing. Right. There was no stoppage.
Right. It's, I think they're still kind of working on it. And here is the Evil Queen. And again, she's really high up. So a lot of times regular guests are not necessarily going to see that she's up here because it's like she'd have to yell down to everyone.
But she's very disturbed because she sees Gaston doing his thing out there. And
I was down below, of course, not at this time, not with you. This does not look as busy. And it's really fun. He's got the very first day.
It was his first appearance of the year.
Not so many guests knew about the Villains Courtyard yet. When I went, it was packed. And the cast members actually had their hands out almost so you couldn't get close. And I wasn't even close, and they had their hands out, right in front of me. So it was
you could see here it was, and they walk around Fantasyland. There's quite a bit of area that you might see the villains walking in and interacting in.
And I would say it will be more fun when it's not as busy. I did not find it interesting for me, just because it was so if you have 100 people, 100 guests surrounding a character, you're not necessarily even going to see the character.
Right. This is much more civilized. You can see it was very, very early also in the morning. Yeah. And if you happen to see them as they exit, I happen to be over here as Gaston was leaving, and there's not a big crowd, so he was able to stop and do some more poses. He loves to pose, Gaston.
Yes, but I think more and more guests find out about it, and so it's probably more busy most of the time now. Right. There's Cruella.
Cruella, also very good. Very good interacting there.
And I got to see, I'm trying to remember, I think I saw Gaston for a few seconds, but I saw more of Cruella and the sisters. The sisters, obviously, we have them running around the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's true.
Here with Lady Tremaine. I'm trying to remember if Lady Tremaine usually is running around the kingdom, but I don't I don't remember that.
You know where you see a lot of Cruella is at Disneyland in
Yeah, you
Anaheim,
do.
like on a regular basis.
And nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody
I don't want
cares.
to say nobody does, but
It's not like this where it's a big deal because it's only during Halloween season usually that you'll see her here at Disneyland Paris.
well, even at Disneyland, you don't really tend to have long lines for most characters.
Very chill. And it's funny because we went right from Disneyland basically with a short stop back here in Florida to Paris.
Right.
So it was a very, very different vibe in Disneyland to Disneyland Paris with the characters.
Well, you have Oogie Boogie Bash and everything that we really enjoy
Mm-hmm.
at Disneyland. And then here is very different. Everything's included. Like there's not a Halloween party this year. They canceled the 2 Halloween parties they'd normally have, and they're just going to have extra stuff going on the 31st.
Now you mentioned the Tremaines, and here they are.
And they are fun. They are always fun.
Always. Oh yeah, I had a blast. I had 2 different days of fun interacting with Tremaines. Now, as far as advice for the Villains Courtyard, I would say to get there around 10 o'clock or so. I think it starts at 10. It goes from like 10 to 4, something like that. And just keep your eyes open. You know, if you see a crowd, that might just mean there's some villains around. And you can always kind of just get in the middle of all of that
But
if you wanted to see them.
At the same time, there were times where I just sort of sat there and waited to see if and nobody came
The
out.
problem is there's a big area. There's that whole big area in Fantasyland. I did enjoy it because it reminded me of old school Disneyland Paris. Sometimes the villains would sneak up on guests and they you know, like Gaston would be right behind somebody and they would turn around and there's Gaston wanting to interact with them. So, and the same thing with the Tremaines as always. I mean, I saw them splashing the Cinderella fountain and doing the usual mischief. They at one point they went into the where they do the makeup with the kids. What's that called?
I'm not sure.
But they were like throwing glitter
Right.
all around. It was just really kind of fun.
And I think, like, I would more say, you know, if it doesn't matter if you see them, like, for me, I probably wouldn't have waited. I would have just kind of walked over every so
Like
often.
if you happen to see them then.
Yes,
that kind
I
of
would
a
have
deal.
kept my eyes open, but not waited.
And here we have Mickey and Minnie. This is in Frontierland. This is their usual Frontierland Halloween outfits from the last few years. We didn't actually get in line to meet them this year because there was just so much stuff
The
going
line was,
on.
and the line was really long for them. So
It was nice. We were able to see a good amount of them entering and exiting the queue. So that was good enough for us this year.
well, especially when we're eating, they came out of the Cowboy Cookout.
One of our favorite places. We highly recommend Cowboy Cookout.
Right. So if you're eating, you might see them going, you know, back and forth a couple of times. And for me, that's enough because we've met them numerous times before.
Numerous times, yes. And also in this area, not appearing every day, but on some days, is Skeleton Goofy.
And also, now Goofy meets not only a skeleton Goofy, but
Bon
Bon Goofy. So
Goofy.
he actually has 2 meet and greets in the park. He came out also of Cowboy Cookout, so we would see him. I was not with you on this day when you.
Yeah, this
met
was
him.
most of the footage I'm showing was from October 1st.
I think I was so tired that day from the previous
well, we had
day,
two,
and I slept in a little.
2 big days in a row. The
Right.
20 or the 30th day was the day before this,
Right.
and then we were out till about 4 in the morning doing the Villainous Night, which we'll talk about in future shows.
So I slept in a little bit, you know, so I didn't meet all the characters, which is okay.
I was with my younger friends, Remy and Bastion, who were also very tired from a
Yeah.
3-day in a row of fun.
And I did make it into the park, but anyway, here is Goofy. We both met him.
Yeah,
before,
no, he was
but
great. It was an excellent, really good meet and greet.
his line doesn't tend to be as long as Mickey and Minnie.
This was a bit of a wait here for Tick et Tack.
Tick a tack.
Tick a Tack. I never say it right. Chippendale.
It's Chippendale. E-T is A in French. So anyway, Chippendale are in. This is the second year they've worn these costumes. I don't know if they're like ghost costumes.
Of course they're ghosts.
How do I know?
They're ghosts. What else would they be?
Anything. They could be anything.
They are ghosts.
They're in a different area. Last year they were in Town Square, which I thought was a really great location for them. But now they are
Well, this is their usual spot where they meet by Colonel Hathie's, that little walkway back there on the way to in the Frontierland area.
But I thought Town Square was very nice because now they're probably a lot more popular in Town Square because everybody sees them while they're coming in.
And we were with our friend Robert, who is a big Duffy,
Duffy
fan,
fan.
and you could see they took ownership of Duffy. They quite liked it, and at one point they even did the Lion King move with Duffy. So I thought that was very fun.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while. It was not the longest line in the park as far as characters. So
it was slow moving. You know why?
Yeah.
Because they gave such great interaction. I mean, they were, as always, they were fantastic.
right, they were fun.
So I'm okay with this new spot. I think having them at the gazebo, it was just nuts. You know, it was fun though. I used to enjoy their entrance and exit when they would come out and dance to the music and everything.
That was really fun. Last year was really cool.
Now, I would say this is the hardest meet and greet to do as far as waiting, because there were lines over 3 hours for Jack and Sally, and here we have Jack and Sally at least on the first weekend.
So Sally hasn't been here since like 2016 or 2017. Jack has, but Sally has not. So Jack is always popular, but not like this. Just like, you know, if you go to the Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary, it's the same.
We're very used to long waits over the years for Jack and Sally.
Well, this past time was we waited almost 4 hours, and not here, not in this one. But
well, our good friend Robert, again,
he waited,
right, and he actually waited and invited us to join him, but he had been waiting over an hour, maybe 2 hours. So that was very nice of him. But boy, oh boy, it certainly is not easy meeting Jack and Sally these days.
No.
But that just shows you how popular they are. And it's an anniversary, by the way. Nightmare Before Christmas just celebrating a big anniversary.
Right.
Do we know what it is?
Yeah, 30th.
30 years.
And
that's
Hocus Pocus as well. And I just want to mention, Robert has like a DAS pass. He still waited several hours, and we waited about an hour of that with
right,
him.
because they only give a very very few numbers, even if you have that pass.
Right.
So.
So I just want to mention, like, my friend Kelly and her mom, I think they waited about 2.5 hours. Kelly also, her mom has the DAS pass, but she decided to get there early, first thing in the morning, and wait about 2.5, which may have been about the same or less than if she had done the DAS pass. I don't think she did that.
Yeah.
So I'm just, no matter what, Jack and
there's
Sally.
There's no way around a long wait.
You're gonna wait. They were really good, and you're right near Phantom Manor, which is a fantastic location.
Now we're looking at the Cheshire Cat. Also, he is very popular as well. I got there an hour before his meet, over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I think it was an hour and a half I arrived, and I was second in line, and we got to meet him. But still, he's only out for 2 hours. So
2 hours per day.
2 hours per day. So very popular and great. He had really, really fun interactions with us, and great PhotoPass pictures as well.
If you look on the Disneyland Paris site, it makes it look like he's over by the Alice in Wonderland, the maze over there, Alice's Curious Labyrinth, but he is not. He is down here in
right by the entrance to Casey Jr.
Right, like it's as far as you can get, kind of in the
it's
park.
really hidden off in a faraway
so
corner.
People can't just run into it easily.
It's one way too. There's no continuous, like it's at the end of the line,
right.
So, but again, it's worth it to seek him out. He was fantastic.
Yeah, we had I'm surprised he's only out for a couple of hours per day, but I mean, it is like, if you like the Cheshire Cat, is worth it to head over here.
So all of these characters got us a bit hungry. So now we're going to talk about the Lucky Nugget Halloween menu. Menu Halloween, they call it. You might hear some rustling of papers, and that is Denise getting it. I had the Muahaha burger.
Is that how you say it?
Muahaha.
So,
see?
Yes. And I just got like I got a hamburger, like a cheeseburger, no cheese, or whatever I got.
Cheeseburger, no cheese. That's a Denise thing.
Often what I get.
No, it was just, it's a beautiful location, I want to say. Any chance of going into the Lucky Nugget is worth it for me. But the food, I thought, was great. Why don't you read off what was in my burger?
Well, I wanted to mention, there used to be shows here.
Yes,
I hope that
shows.
they will bring, they had like a Toy Story puppet show, I think, at one point. And
music, they would have a piano player. It was very nice.
I didn't want to mention the food until it actually arrived.
Okay.
So you have a hamburger, a beefsteak burger on a squid ink bun, bacon, pepper jack cheese, rocket salad, pumpkin apple chestnut compote, heavy cream and black pepper sauce with French fries.
And Doritos. And chili Doritos.
Yeah, sweet chili Doritos and heavy cream and black. Oh, they mentioned heavy cream and black pepper sauce twice.
Because notice it's on the burger and it's on the fries.
I'm like, that's a lot of heavy cream and
the whole thing is very heavy. It's delicious. It's very spicy. But I loved it. I thought it was excellent burger. Very unique. Something it tastes I don't normally get. And we're looking at the Madame Leota Sundae.
And this has chocolate flavored ice cream, salted butter caramel sauce, chocolate hazelnut cookie chunks, and crispy cereal pearls.
I have to tell you, when you eat this, it turns your whole mouth black.
Yes,
everything is black because it's like a really dark, and like you're looking at me and you said my teeth.
Yeah,
like
everything was black.
And you had that black bun before, so there's lasting effects from this. I'll tell you.
I tried a tiny bit of it, but I preferred my sundae, and I got a menu too. Jeff had the menu, 27 euros including a drink, and we get 15% off of that with the annual pass.
But I'm glad we did the experience. It was fun to do some different Halloween type menus. There was some kind of Halloween beverages at some of the bars, and also they had, when we went to the Silver Spur, they had a Halloween drink menu there as well.
But there wasn't a lot. I mean, overall,
like in previous years, you would have full menus like we just we just talked about at the Lucky Nugget.
So here we are looking at Mickey's Halloween celebration. And even though, to me, the Halloween season was a little less than usual, the Mickey's Halloween celebration, which is a cavalcade, like a parade, and a show in Central Plaza, is such a highlight for us that I just love. It's so joyous and so fun.
It's wonderful. And the first parade I ever saw back in 2014 when we came to Disneyland Paris for the first time was a very similar parade. This was before the show stops, before they upgraded it. It was more of a cavalcade. I think it was called Mickey's Halloween Cavalcade back then. But the essence is the same. The music, it's fine in the fall.
Right.
That to me is Halloween at Disneyland Paris.
And you can see how much of it is themed to the harvest. Not as much to Halloween.
Not till the end. You don't get a lot of scary Halloween parts.
Right. But it's, you've got cast members, performers dressed as like corn.
Yeah, right.
And so it's very much just you've got pumpkins and such, but in the sense of the harvest.
It's very unique, like something I've not seen in a Halloween parade anywhere else.
Right. And so here are Goofy and Max.
They are new this year. They replaced the Three Little Pigs.
We need one more
Goofy type character.
Yes. So, but they, not only are they new for the parade, but new outfits. So they've got their frontier type Western outfits.
Yeah, brand new, totally new, as you mentioned. Everything looks very colorful and refreshed this year.
Fall. I mean, the parade hasn't changed too much over the years. I mean, we ended up getting I think it's been 5 years since the Mickey's Illusion Manor float, which is still such a fantastic float.
Scrumptious, there she is, Clarabelle. And I saw Horace Horsecollar in there as well. And the Pooh characters are coming now.
Yes, and I don't even know if they were there at the very beginning. I think this was
an addition, I think, after 2014.
Yeah, maybe 6 or 7 years ago it was added. So it feels new, but it's not new at all. So you've got Tigger, Rabbit, Eeyore, and Piglet. Is that it? No, and there's like 5 characters. So it's a good amount of Pooh characters. Yes, I did not mention Pooh himself. So, and I believe these performers, they're like mushrooms.
Yeah, so unique. Unique, the mushroom performers.
Very colorful. And behind them, you have more performers, but also Minnie Mouse it's like a cornucopia. Yes.
It's a word you don't get to say very often.
No. And you've got like acorns and, again, something just really different. And right now you were standing, I was not here, at this time.
This is the beginning of Main Street, right? This is where the parade kicks off this was the second parade. So depending on what parade, it's going to go a different direction.
So from either it's a small world or from Town Square is where it kicks off. So it's nice for sometimes just to watch it and not go to Central Plaza, and it's pretty quick. But, you really want to see it from Central Plaza as well. And here are Chip and Dale and Clarice,
yes,
on
on a
the back.
swing. You don't get to see that every day. I guess you do if you go
If
to
you're
Disneyland
here,
Paris.
yes, we've seen
Halloween.
it. We've seen it many times at this point, and we've got performers as sunflowers, and so we've got ballroom dancers here. And Mickey's Illusion Manor, that's like a Phantom Manor type float.
Right.
You've got 3 Mickey Mouse costumes on here, so you'll see Mickey come out.
He changes, changes outfits
in various outfits. You can see
now
he's in
purple. Yeah.
And then also you have Pluto as a gargoyle, and you'll have the Phantom and Melanie coming out here also at different times. So it's really just such a great float.
And you can see there's lighting effects too. If it was dark, there's a great lighting. All of these floats, by the way, are lit, nicely lit for nighttime. And that'll be shown tomorrow night, actually, on the 16th, because this parade is going to run at night for one time.
I wish we were still
we could
there.
have been there.
Yeah, I know.
Looks
we
like
were
a
there
great
for 3
event.
weeks already. So anyway, Mickey here, you still have him down below with the Phantom. You've got Huey and Dewey and Louie as like little devils on the back.
Excellent outfits.
And we'll probably see Mickey maybe at least one more time here. Like he'll wear
there he goes.
red or green.
He's got his green outfit up there.
So, he won't, obviously at this point, he won't be on the front of the float. So then he'll turn around and he'll show up somewhere else. And the
zombies. I love the zombies.
They are at the rope at the back, and they get on the stage and they dance up a storm just like some of the other performers and characters. They're really great.
Very energetic, highly talented. You mentioned we're going to talk about the various stages. We're going to start off with one of my favorites. It's the Phantom. Mm-hmm. Here comes the Phantom and Melanie and the dancers that go along with this float, Illusion Manor float.
So again, at Central Plaza, you have 4 stages. I really would love to see this at Walt Disney World, where you have the stages and then the characters go up, and they really are so energetic and they dance. Really, I enjoy the performing.
And you notice there's all sorts of pyro effects that go off as well. Sometimes they go very high, and there's lots of smoke produced.
And sometimes if it's inclement weather, it won't go at all.
Right.
Like with wind and such, because we did... there were at least one time.
Yeah,
where
there were
we did
a few times where it didn't. It still went off, but lessened.
So, but anyway, I don't know for how long they're up here, between 5 minutes or so, and
like 7. I think each of these is about 7 minutes, something like that. Not overly long.
And so during the Festival of Pirates and Princesses, which was like around 2016. They started really utilizing these Central Plaza stages. So during Christmas, during the 30th anniversary, Dream and Shine Brighter, during Halloween, you get and that's going to happen also for the show that's going to start in February. They utilize these stages.
The new show that replaces Dream and Shine Brighter.
So, Dream and Shine Brighter is gone. This will be the new show, yes.
And what we're looking at here, you have Goofy and Max. In previous years, you would be watching the 3 little pigs dance up a storm.
And they were amazing.
But Goofy and Max, also amazing. So it's still great for me.
I mean, you don't see characters at the domestic parks as much, performing in the same way as what you'll see.
It's a very unique to Paris, and very energetic as well. We have Mickey, another great stage.
I remember during the 30th anniversary shows, the most recent ones before it stopped, Genie was really getting into it. He was incredible. So anyway, you can see they're dancing, and you've got pyro here, and it's very popular. It's just the Central Plaza stages can be very busy, so you want to get there a little early. I was just about
to say, if you have a favorite stage and you want to be in your perfect position, honestly, an hour early is my rule of thumb. I don't mind waiting an hour. You can lean. There's a nice rail, and you can usually find someone to talk to while you're waiting. So it goes by, especially in beautiful weather like this.
You don't always need to. It depends on how busy the park is.
Right.
It just depends.
Like for instance, I think one of these stages I just showed up at the very last minute and there was a spot, a perfect spot, and I was able to take it. So you just never know. But if you are planning on it and you really want you want to see a certain stage,
I love this.
This is great.
Love,
they are fantastic.
I mean,
of course you love it. By the way, it's your favorite character, Clarabelle.
You don't, see her dancing here like that. So, and Daisy has her Miss Harvest 2023. Of course, she's been Miss Harvest 2022.
She's won that award many years running now. I think she's at least 10 years in a row of winning that award. So, good on Daisy there.
So anyway, we're just watching here, and these are the stages. There was one stage where you can really see Sleeping Beauty Castle, of course. That's the one where you have the Phantom and such. And now you have Mickey's Illusion Manor float, which we're looking at. And here comes Mickey in his green outfit. Hopefully we'll see him in his red outfit. You're going
to see that. That's why I included it. There he is. He changed.
In his red outfit.
He's fast. He can change clothes quick. But and again, after another reason I'm showing this is after the various Central Plaza stages, the parade continues, and you can watch it as it makes its way further along the parade route. So you had mentioned earlier in the show about Goofy, Bon Bon Goofy. Well, Bon Bon Goofy is one of the latest appearing characters. We saw him in the evening, and here he is greeting me.
And this was one of the last things we did, I think.
Yeah,
right?
On our last day, one of the last things.
There
you are.
And it was very warm out. Obviously, I'm not even in a sweatshirt
I could have been in shorts easily.
Yeah.
It was like 78 degrees.
Today it's not. It's actually chilly today. So Goofy, I was surprised he was still meeting, into the evening. But he used to be for many years in Town Square. He just moved this year to the Plaza Gardens
and
area.
More popular than ever. I mean, this is a really popular location for him.
It actually has been. He's always popular in Town Square, but I feel like he is a little more popular here.
So that's about it for Halloween at Disneyland Paris. We're going to have much more to talk about from Disneyland Paris. And again, tomorrow is the big day, the 100-year celebration. I wish we could have been there, but I guess 3 weeks, not enough.
It's not enough. It is never enough to be there. But it was hard. We wanted to see our friends Martin and Michelle, and that was at the very beginning.
And it was great to spend time with them.
It was really good to see them.
And they're in Hong Kong right now. Very exciting.
Yes. And I'm excited for them that they're really having a great time.
Can't wait to hear all about it.
And I just want to mention also, we had no idea there was going to be a big program tomorrow. We had no idea.
That's true. It all kind of was announced late.
Yes. So anyway, thanks to our sponsor, MEI and Mousesteps Travel. Check them out. They've been in business for almost 20 years, and they are just such a great travel agency and always doing research. Becky is, I think she's here at Walt Disney World now.
She's here now.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Like she's everywhere.
We got to try to catch her.
Yes.
See what we can do.
But anyway, check them out. You can just go to their website and get a no obligation quote. It doesn't cost you anything to have them book your travel.
So also next week we will have much more. Hopefully we'll have some good coverage from the big event tomorrow, thanks to our good friend Aroni and other friends that are there. Yeah,
Kelly.
That's right. Too bad not us, but but we still have a bunch of dining reviews. And we're going to be going to the parks here. We're finally getting back to Walt Disney World either tomorrow, probably not tomorrow, probably Tuesday and
booking
Thursday.
our travel for January,
we gotta start.
hopefully.
We got to get that booked. We have a hotel booked, but we have to get our flights booked. So, and, there is, we have the Villains Night we can talk about. Lots more to come. So thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.